So let's talk about stateless and stateful architecture. I mean, this is true for any kind of authentication, either session, token, cookies. A stateful architecture or authentication means we are storing the state of the login or of the user. Like in session based, we are using Redis. In token based, we can store token also. By the way, token are stateless. One, you can create a number of tokens, and those tokens will be valid till the token expires. But I can have some mechanism where I can just have, let's say, a special requirement. If I allow user to log in from one system only, if user is trying to log in from another device, I need to force user to log out from the device one. In that case, to know all those things, I need to store the session in somewhere. So if I will check, okay, user logged in with the device one, I create a token and store in the database. User login from another device, I will check, okay, user already have a token created. Let's expire it, replace it with a new token. So the previous token is now gone. Once user try to access APIs and all, I will check in the database always. Does token exist in database or Redis? Okay, let keep him doing the task. If the token already gone, that means he already logged in from another device. This token I need to force expire. JWT token you cannot expire. That is very important, very critical thing. You cannot expire, but you can have some kind of a system at a server side which you can do additional checks. Tokens are not expired, but do I have the token in my storage? If not, that means for me this token is expired. I need to log out a user. So that is stateful authentication. I'm storing the additional state of the authentication in the database. So every time user access any API, I always check the token which user is using. Is this still valid in the database, in the Redis? Yes, keep him doing it. That is just additional overhead. But using this, you can force log out a user even if the token is valid, right? But in a stateless, you receive a token, you keep accessing the APIs. Nobody can force log out you until unless your token is valid, until unless application is down, right? So that is very crucial information of stateless and a stateful architecture in a distributed environment. We need to have a centralized data storage. Let's say request is coming from different app server or different Lambda or different application. Then you should have a centralized Redis or centralized RDS. So everything is synchronized, right? In distributed manner, you can face some issues, but in a stateless, user request can come from anywhere. There is a one common logic to validate the token that is same across all the platforms. So these flows are very simple. Stateless, you do the login, you get a JWT token in the headers, in the cookies. You send the token in the authorization header to the server. Server will validate a JWT token, allow you access or deny. That is a stateless. This is how stateless authentication works for the protected APIs. You access the authorization header, verify the token, everything is good, allow you to access the API. Stateful, JWT is still valid, but the server stores the session metadata, maybe token ID, maybe the token itself, the revocation status and all, right? JWT payload include a session ID or token that you store inside a database, and you can use this to check if user session is still valid or not. You can force logout and all those things, which I already explained you. Stateless, revocation support require hacks, but you can do it. But revocation, you can revoke the token. In the stateful, yes. Complexity is simple, complex. Stateful, you need to have additional mechanism to store, revoke, all these things, right? So till now I used only stateful. I had a requirement of having force log out a user once user logs into another device. Then I need to store the state in the database and force log out a user when user is trying to log in from another device. That can be done using stateful JWT token authentication.